kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. Just remember.
Welcome everybody into Sim Racing Media tonight. The drivers of the Western States Racing League take on Darlington. These guys are set for 147 laps going around here. See who can earn that Darlington stripe, so to say, as these guys get set to bounce back from last week's race. Speaking of last week's race, last week, Ross Rollins was able to lead 58 laps, taking home the victory. Ryan Steele in second, Jeff Schmeier in third. Chad Simpson led the most laps at 68, but was unable to bring home the W. We'll see as these guys jump over into the qualifying session here. See who gets out on track first. Like it will be Justin T. Wilkinson. And hopefully we'll be joined by Mac Nelson here once they get rolling. About halfway through his first lap, coming down that Boeing backstretch. Top of the board right there with the 29.85. Michael Bourne with the 30.96. Ryan Steele running up on that high line with the 29.89. First time by for Mike Fisher. And that 43 Toyota 29.78. Chris Sumar to 30.50. Gets loose coming out of turn 4 as he finishes his second lap. 30.03. Looked like he was going to be flying there at the end. Looks like Michael Bourne's checking up there. Michael Melfeld Jr. finished his first lap. Second lap with the 29.82. Bob Beltrami also up there with the 29.82. That 14 machine. Jump back here to Andrew Schulte. Andrew Schulte first time by was a 30.41. Getting that a little more speed out of that 81 Toyota. Got a little bit of a short field than we're used to here. Probably a little slump after last week's race from New Hampshire. Andrew Schulte up there with the 29.73.
How are we doing, Mike?
Oh, not too bad, Mac. Glad you're able to join us. A 52 of Carl Burke into that wall. You able to get all hooked up there, Mac?
Yep, should be good. Everything should be good. iRacing did not want to play nice with me for a second.
Swear engine working through here. See what he can do first time by. P4 right now, 29.74. Who else is out on track? Christian Bishop finished his 2 laps with a 29.92. Looks like Jeff Schmeier might be rolling. What Jeff can. I think these guys are going to be glad to get away from the Next Gen series after last week's race. Like he's just sitting there on pit road. Let's see. Looks like Barry Phil's rolling through. You missed last week's race, Mac.
Yeah, it did. Enlighten me. What happened there?
I'll just read the stat line for the race. 129 laps, 4 leaders, 4 lead changes, 18 cautions for 62 laps.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
They are going to bounce back here. It looks like Barry Phil clipped the wall on his first lap, so didn't count that one. Yeah, last week was what?
Hey, everybody's due one every now and then.
Barry Phil with the 30.69. Let's see, looks like Jeff Schmeier finally got that that 30 Toyota rolling, a 30.05.
Not too bad. About 4/10 off leader JTW in his first lap. Surely second lap is going to be a little quicker.
They seem to keep getting a little bit of that slide there coming off of 2.
Oh yeah, Darlington is an extremely difficult track to, exactly right. To break that, to break out of that fast bit and go, super fast, to get that next level of pace at this track, you have to be almost, if not entirely perfect through 3 and 4, especially. 1 and 2 is, all right, but through 3 and 4, you have got to get that right on the nose, or else you are going to lose all pace coming to the start finish.
Butch Davis first lap of 30.08. We'll see if he can go any faster this time by. Like we're gonna have 25, 26 cars in here tonight, so looks like we got a few jumping in towards the last minute here. Butch Davis jumps up to P5 with a 29.80.
Yeah, not bad in the slightest for Butch Davis. Sticking at P5, that is a great place to start here at Darlington.
Oh, slower down as Wayne Fleet coming to finish his first lap. Now 31.17. And you can hear the tires break loose there a little bit. .79. Go up to 20th there. Like we got a couple drivers left. Keith Kelman, Chad Simpson, James Campbell, Dennis Fuson. They elect to take a try. Probably not going to get to.
Does not look like it.
So Andrew Schulte, Justin Michael, and Ryan Steele are the top 3 still in the point standings as we going to start heading towards those drop weeks. Andrew Schulte has a 22-point lead over Justin Michael. Justin Michael has run one race less than Andrew Schulte. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all works out. As Chad Simpson's also a few points back with one less race. So it looks like they're ready to jump in their cars here. Go ahead and go over the starting grid. Justin Wilkinson out there with the 29.673. Mike Fisher is going to start to his outside. Row 2, Lyle Swearingen and Andrew Schulte. Chad Stearns and Butch Davis make up row 3. Row 4, Michael Melfeld Jr., Bob Beltrami. Let me go back to Ryan Steele and Christian Bishop in row 5. Row 6, Carl Burke and Brian Barnes.
Yeah, and then P13, Chris Samard in that number 77 machine. To his outside is going to be Jeff Schmeier. In row 8 is going to be Wayne Hutchison and Julian Ritchie. P17, Charlie Widener, race winner here this season. P18, Barry Phil. And row 10 is going to consist of Michael Bourne and the 6 of Wayne Fleet. P21, Dan Brazington. To his outside, the 42 of Chad Simpson. And then in row 12, we have Dennis Fuson To his outside, Keith Kellman. P25, Dustin Burns. And P26, the Canadian James Campbell.
That is how they will start tonight. We'll see how they finish after we get through all of the laps tonight. It is, like I said, round number 15. They've got this race and then 5 more. I believe they have 4 drop weeks, so in a couple races we're going to start seeing the points change dramatically as they move through. Like the track temperatures, a balmy 80 degrees, ambient air 77, so we should be good to go as you kind of look at the track map there. Corners are a little bit different as you go through 1 and 2 versus 3 and 4.
Yeah, 1 and 2, you're going to be able to carry a lot more speed. You're going to be on the second groove, maybe up there in the third groove, depending on what you're really wanting to do with the run. A lot of drivers like to stick to the wall as much as they can in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4 is going to be a completely different beast. You are going to have to slow the car way down to make the corner because it is a lot tighter than 1 and 2. So what that brings is a lot of drag races to the start finish line every single lap, especially the last lap.
So these guys will get their last little bit of instructions in the driver's meeting, and they are going to turn them loose here. Pace lights are out. JTW with the button as they come through turn number 4. And he will lead him to that restart zone. Down and away, and he gets a pretty good jump. He's out to 0.3 of a second already. Side by side is Fisher and Swearingen.
And this is going to be a track that if JTW can stay in this clean air and he can extend this lead, as Lyle Swearingen is already getting sideways, hits Bob Beltrami, hits Christian Bishop, hits Carl Burke. That's a lot of people for lap 1 carnage. Lyle Swearingen just could not get it right coming out of 2 there.
Go back and take a look here. Gets loose. Mike Fisher squeaks by. It looks like Butch Davis got into somebody there too. Let's see. Butch Davis is just behind this action. Andrew Schulte's there. Well, there's 05 of Chad Stearns, so 05's down there. Butch Davis tries to get out of it, slides down, hits Chad Stearns. Bob Beltrami gets into the 68 there of Swearingen. See who else gets collected. Christian Bishop, Brian Barnes. Jeff Schmeier looks like he might have got through. Wayne Hutchinson looks like he barely got through. So, as we were saying, turn 2 exit.
Yeah, not exactly the time of the race where you'd want that to happen. Lap 1 is never really the place where, you know, you want to see crashes and cautions and chaos and all those other nasty, horrible things, but it's what we got, and a lot of people's strategy probably just changed because Darlington is a track where there is going to be chaos. It just, there always is. And for these guys that have already taken their fast repair, that's going to be a very daunting 143 laps that they have got to complete now.
Yeah, it definitely is. As these guys get set to stack them back up, assuming it's probably going to be single file for the restart here. Chad Simpson's going to try and get a wave around here to get back onto the lead lap. Sitting by where he's sitting on track anyway. Looks like James Campbell didn't start the race, and Carl Burke, involved in that first lap caution, called it a night right then and there.
Yeah, unfortunate for, the 52 of Carl Burke. However, I think a fast repair would have gotten him back out on the lead lap. I don't think anything bad would have really happened. I guess he just decided this week is not going to be my week, and he just got out of the server.
So lights are out on the pace car, so we'll get stacked back up again. We'll see what can happen here on the single file restart. It's going to be easier for Wilkinson here to get back in that line and start, trying to drive where he wants to go. The dangerous part, though, is with that single file restart, how many people try and pass as many cars as they can as soon as they can, too,
Yeah, although single file restarts do seem to be the more efficient and more safe way to restart a race, sometimes it can be the exact opposite. So we will see how that boils here as JTW coming around turn 4 for the second time. On lap 5, 141 laps left. JTW is off. Already has a 0.44 second lead. That is almost half a second on Mike Fisher. He's entering turn 1, and he is on the nose.
He is pulling away pretty quickly. As I said, I was looking back through the field to see if anybody's trying to pull out or anything, and really the only one that did was Dustin Burns. He pulled out and he went clear to the back here, trying to just basically stay out of the way, it looked like here, but like everybody's kind of settled into where they want to be for the moment. We'll see how long that lasts, looking through some of the drivers here. Mike Fisher got the lucky number 43 this week. Ran the fastest lap of the race that time by with the 31:33. We'll see if he can close. Oh, and just as I say that, JTW goes 29:83.
Oh yeah, that is blazing quick. JTW has got his car on rails right now.
He definitely looks like he has something figured out here. Ever since that single file restart, looks like they've been mostly single filed out. Nothing too major here. Looks like Chris Sumard might be trying to make a pass here on Wayne Hutchinson down to his inside, but not quite there. Backs back up. Seem to remember the races that I've been involved in. It seems that that sometimes this track can be one of the more difficult ones to make a pass at. I mean, yeah, you can kind of run wherever you want, but it kind of takes you out of rhythm when you go to make those passes.
Yeah, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. Every time I race here, it seems like I can never achieve solid overtakes and keep my race pace up from that. But just as you were saying that, Wayne Hutchinson made a move on the 11 machine of Dennis Fuson, and he made it look easy, and he is knocking on Wayne Fleet's door as we speak.
Yes, he's doing that. Chris Sumard down to the inside of Fuson, and looked like he was trying to make that pass. Just couldn't quite do it there, but you say Wayne Hutchinson is closing in. Goes to the high side, into the wall. Well, that will slow down the momentum he was having there as he was getting to Wayne Fleet. Just didn't quite have it under control enough to make that pass on that high side.
Yeah, and if you don't have your car set properly for the apex of the corner, you know, you're going to drift out wide. And if you decide to change your lane in the middle of the corner, you're also going to drift out very wide as well. So, you know, something to remember for these drivers, because if they keep tapping their right rear or right front against that wall, that damage is going to add up.
Yeah, it definitely is. As the FBR teammates Chris Sumard and Lyle Swearingen get by, and it looks like Wayne Fleet is sideways on the track. If he can get it going here, and it looks like he will, so no caution. But that definitely could have been bad. Let's take a look real quick. Oh.
Ooh, Wayne Fleet just drove down into the 17 of Wayne Hutchison there.
Yeah, like he didn't see the 17 down to his inside, just did that little left-hand turn there. Let's go back here. We got Andrew Schulte made a pass for second. Mike Fisher fading backwards now as Butch Davis and Michael Melfeld Jr. are looking to his inside.
Yeah, tire degradation is going to be a big topic of discussion for this race, Mike. And I think, you know, the driver that's fastest after 30 laps, I would put decent hopes in for winning tonight.
Yeah, that is definitely something you have to think about. I mean, these guys, I believe they have 3 tire sets is all. So, you know, you're going to have to be mindful of when you want to use them. You have Chris Sumard, Lyle Swearingen all having to pit on lap 1 there after they got damaged. Looks like they probably just took their fast repair. But we'll see who can save tires. We have Wayne Fleet that just came down on lap 12 after getting a little bump there, and it's the battle of the 43s on track again. Butch Davis scored as the 10, but has the 43 FBR Motorsports machine up to P3 now.
And it always, these two, Butch Davis and Mike Fisher, they always seem to just be around each other every single race.
Yeah, they definitely do. You know what that is who we're missing. I was like looking through here. I'm like, who? Justin Michael's not here tonight.
Yes. Yep. Not here tonight. I was looking up and down the roster as soon as I got in, and I noticed there is no 87 of Justin Michael.
That's going to be a couple races that that are going to be just drops, so have to make the most of the ones while he is here, as they're 3 wide going by Wayne Fleet there.
Yeah, Justin Michael in a really good position to win the championship for this season, season 49, but he has got to have a pretty flawless attendance through this last stretch of the season.
Yeah, Frank and I were talking last week, as we had plenty of time to do, of all these drivers who go other places and are winning championships or are championship contenders. I mean, you have all the guys from, oh my gosh, SRE, you know, all the FBR guys. You have, you know, Bob Beltrami. You have, Brian Barnes won the Northwest Championship a little while ago. And Justin Michaels battling. He actually just qualified last week, I believe, for the Championship 4 in the Icon Series. So these guys go up here and they all battle together, and you never know who's going to actually win the races here.
Yeah, that's a good opportunity to scout. I mean, if you're a guy like Justin Michael or Michael Milfeld Jr. or, any of the FBR guys, if you see these people in other leagues, it is a great opportunity to learn how they drive and, what they do, what their strategies are like, so that when you get to a Tuesday night in the WSRL, you know almost exactly how they're going to drive every race.
That is very true. Go back up to the front. JTW with over a second lead now as he creams the wall coming out of 2. So that is definitely going to slow him down. Andrew Schulte coming in here. Like Butch Davis is... Nope. No, looks like Butch Davis got involved there. Not sure what happened to Butch.
Yeah, I'm not. He just... seems like his car is severely damaged. He can... he's just trying to fight it.
Let's see if we can see what happened here. Davis down to the inside of Mike Fisher. Okay. Thought we would...
Yeah, I keep expecting him to hit the wall or something, and we're getting none of that right now. It's got to be in this corner. Something has to go wrong. I take everything back. I guess it does not have to go wrong.
He had to have hit something, because the way he just went down to the inside, there's something that just changed his car.
Mike Fisher almost touching the wall there, entering that corner.
Yeah, I can jump ahead a little bit here.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
A little bump there off the 43 of Mike Fisher, but I wouldn't have thought it would have done that much damage. But he is slow. He's down to the inside trying to get out of the way. Mike Fisher also is down there. He just can't steer.
Oh, he just can't turn left.
Yeah, just nothing he could do about it. That is just rough there.
And Butch Davis, I don't think, had to pit early for the quick repair, so I think he is still good if he just gets it in and repairs it very quick.
It looks like he got it in and got it repaired, but he's back out on track right now. Andrew Schultz is trying to close in here on Justin T. Wilkinson, but ATW looks like he's hit the wall a couple times.
Yeah, Andrew Schultz is starting to get into the green when it comes to his Delta competition. He was about a 1/10.5 faster than JTW last lap. Not sure if JTW just used all of his tire wear up or if that damage from smacking the wall a couple of times is getting to him. I'm not entirely sure, but Andrew Schultz is on his back bumper.
Let's see if we can take a look. Yeah, it's a little bit creased there on that right side, but yeah, not too bad.
Butch Davis has had a fire lit inside of him, turning a purple lap with a 29.76. Andrew Schultz spins around. Ooh.
Wow.
What a save, Mr. Schultz. What a save. And this is Darlington, man. You have got to be perfect.
That is definitely some good driving there. Davis trying to run through the field here.
And he's not doing a bad job at it, to be fair.
Not really. Trying to get some time back there. I mean, he is on the freshest tire. I mean, his tires have 10 laps or so on them versus everybody else around him, 33 lap old tires.
Yeah, you know, unfortunately, looking at these deltas, I don't know if Butch Davis is catching some traffic or whatnot, but there we go. Okay, yeah, he is running about a second and 2/10 faster than JTW right now. So, you know, it's not going to be substantial room, but he is gaining very quick. And if, you know, the leaders decide to pit here within the next 5 or 10 laps,
yeah,
Butch Davis could be in the money.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to start thinking about pitting sometime soon here, as JTW just can't get that exit right. Oh, that was on entrance. He hit it this time. Wow. On the last couple of laps, slide up the track on corner exit.
Oh,
looks
Andrew
like
Schultz. What a save from JTW. And the awareness from Andrew Schultz to back down. He made one mistake in bumping JTW, but then good on him for slowing down and not just running over him, letting JTW have his time to catch it.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see if we can take a look at it again. Just kind of got a little bit of run, hit him in that left rear quarter, allowed him to get it back under him, and away they go. But after that, JTW is hemorrhaging positions now as Ryan Steele goes to work and gets by.
Unfortunately, the 05 of Chad Stearns is not going to be able to join the overtaking JTW party, as he gets the door shut on him, and JTW stops the bleeding for now.
Definitely trying to get that car back underneath him. He definitely wants to pit and get some of that damage repaired. Definitely earned a couple of those Darlington stripes. Back to the field a little bit. Bob Beltrami sitting just outside the top 5 in P6 right now. One of our biggest movers of the race is back in P7, the 95 Toyota of Harley Widener. Oh, JTW.
Towed his car. He is back in the pit lane. What happened there?
Let's take a look. Oh, just into the wall on exit. Chad Stearns didn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah, that is unlucky for the 0.5 of Chad Stearns. That's going to do a little bit of damage to his car, I'd imagine.
But there. Like we're gonna have a pass for the lead. Michael Melfeld Jr. was able to get by lap traffic of Barry Phil there. Ryan Steele holding on. We got to be getting close to that pit window. If not for fuel, definitely for tires.
Yeah, I mean, the time fall off right now is, you're looking at about 2-second fall off, maybe 1.7, 1.8 right now. Andrew Schultz's best time was a 29.88. His last lap time was a 31.62. So, yeah, a lot of pace fall off from these guys right now.
It definitely looks like we've got a few that have just put the cars on the hauler. Carl Burke we talked about. Mike Fisher looks like he's done. JTW looks like he's done too. Maybe not though. Jeff Schmeier. It looked like Jeff Schmeier bounced off the wall and got by Beltrami there. Quite a gap back to Chris Sumard. He's in 8th. Lyle Swearingen in 9th. And then Christian Bishop there. Round out that top 10.
Going back to Lyle Swearingen, he is currently P9. Not the best of starts at Darlington for him. He did start the race P3 and, you know, was the one who kind of spun it on cold tires in lap 1 and just hasn't been able to really find his footing since then, but he is running the same exact lap time as the leader. So maybe he'll be able to weasel his way back into the top 5.
Yeah, with these early laps, being able to have a faster pair, you never know how this is going to, you know, shake out at the end. Because we should start seeing guys decide whether or not they're going to pit as they're almost a third of the way through the race. So, but like you said, it's the guys who can save tires. We're talking about a guy who can save tires. I'm gonna have to start looking at Ryan Steele.
Silent but deadly. He's got his way up to P2. Not really any flashy overtakes or, you know, controversy that we've seen him in so far as of this race. He's just finding his groove and sticking to it.
Yeah, definitely looks like he's been able to stay about a lane or so off the wall. Kind of roll down the backstretch. Somebody's going to have to find something here to catch Andrew Schulte, though. He's out to over a second lead right now. $100 to go. Look back through the field, see if there's any action. Here's Brian Barnes and Julian Ricci. It looks like Brian Barnes able to get by Julian Ricci without too much effort there. Stay with these guys until they get through their first round of pit stops here. take our first commercial break then as I go back through the field. Andrew Schulte, Ryan Steele, Michael Melfeld Jr. Chad Stearns is about 5.5 off after a little incident there with JTW. Harley Widener about 2.5 back. Jeff Schmeier trying to bring that that puppy to victory lane here.
You know my pick, man. You know my pick.
Looks like Bob Beltrami coming down pit lane.
It looks like he's wanting to split the race up into thirds, which... Whoa, as the 30 of Jeff Schmeier caught just some snap oversteer there for a second and just immediately corrected. That was kind of insane. Never really seen that before, but as I was saying, Bob Beltrami looking to cut his race into thirds, as I assume the rest of the grid will be doing. Beltrami just happened to get in a little quicker.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you can handle the car doing 50 laps, definitely head down pit road, split it in thirds. Then you'll have that extra tire set if something does happen towards the end of the race. We'll see what the strategy becomes here, as we've got a lot of drivers that haven't pitted. I think we've got the Keith Kelman gonna come down now. Like Michael Melfeld Jr. got into the wall as he was making a pass on Ryan Steele, or vice versa, as they both look like they kind of slowed down a little bit there.
And, you know, realistically, how many, or what are the odds that they go one stop here?
I don't know that I'd like to be on ice skates, but, I mean, I guess if they have enough fuel to do it, I mean, they could try and do it, but the fall off just seems almost too much.
Yeah, the fall off does appear to be very drastic, but you know, there's a lot of number crunching that you got to do in there. It might just save your skin if you stay out and, you know, stop just one time.
Yeah, I mean, you basically make it save yourself 54 seconds if you only stop one time instead of two. Lyle Swearingen in for his first pit stop. And what's funny is the guys who usually try and do that are both running towards the front. Andrew Schulte, Ryan Steele, you know, people like that tend to be able to save tires and not have to worry about it quite so much, as you see the 07 of Keith Kelman go around on those old fresh tires. Wayne Hutchinson trying to get his laps back. I mean, the last lap for Ryan Steele was a 32:31. Last lap for, let's say, Bob Beltrami was a 30.78. So you're losing a couple seconds, basically. But you can make it to... have to make it basically to 75 to feel comfortable, I believe, to make it on one stop, which isn't too terribly far away. We're working lap 58 now.
Well, if there's one person that I would like to see attempted, it's got to be the number 12 of Ryan Steele. So we will see if we get what we wish for.
I mean, Andrew Schulte, Michael Melfeld Jr., and Ryan Steele all seem to be running relatively the same lap times, anywhere between 31.8 to 32.2, depending on how they come out of corners and such. As you see Ryan Steele kind of slide a little bit as he made his way through turn 2. Looks like Charlie Widener is going to come down pit lane. Michael Melfeld Jr. elects to bring her on in. Chad Simpson in. Dan Brazington in. Just don't hit those yellow barrels. We saw what happened. Happened on Sunday.
Yeah. Do not hit the yellow barrels. That is the number one thing that you do not want to do. That and speeding down pit lane. Speeding on entrance is pretty bad. But, that's manageable. At least, you can drive your way out of that penalty. Can't really drive your way out of yellow barrels.
Yeah, no, it kind of ended Larson's day there. But it was fun being there anyway. Like Wayne Hutchinson's going to try and get one of his laps back. So everybody's came down except for Schulte, Steele, Schmeier. I'm going to say Samard, Bishop, Barnes, and Dennis Fuson right now. As Bishop's coming down. Brian Barnes all pitted under that first caution. We'll see if Schulte can get at least a few more laps out here. Make an attempt here. Andrew Schultz is like, come on, get around me. Leave me alone.
Yeah, Andrew Schulte is just trying to, do his own thing. Maybe catch the draft of one of these faster cars down the, Boeing backstraight or the front stretch. And, he's just locked in. He's just cruising.
He doesn't need any of the faster cars trying to draft off of his bumper or anything. He's trying to just make his way around the track, get as close as he can to that 72 to 75 lap range, and hope he can make it on one stop is what it looks like he's trying to do. Looks like Ryan Steele might be too, because he is kind of... It's almost like he's trying to save fuel just a little bit.
Yeah, he is really, really attempting to make this work.
I mean, it's going to be tight. It looks like... I thought that was Chris Simard, but it's not. It's going to be Chad Simpson going around. Six. We're getting closer. We have 6 guys who have yet to hit pit lane. And if you go this far, you're just probably going to want to drive it until it's telling you have 1 lap to go and head in, but probably going to be a little rough if it's a few laps short. But maybe you can save more on the second stint if you start saving from the beginning. But you never know. But you don't want to give up too much time either, though, because there's a late race caution.
Yeah, exactly. You never want to give up too much time on the first stint, because then you're just eating into, what you thought was an advantage by stopping less, but now it's just disadvantage because you're slowing down way beyond, the desired delta. And, that's what makes this fuel saving and race strategy, it makes it so tricky.
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, you can just see how all of the drivers are trying to figure out what's best for them. Oh, looks like Schultz is going to be coming in almost sideways. He slowed down way before he probably wanted to there. Ryan Steele says pit stops are not for me for the moment.
Yeah, gonna attempt to make it work, and Ryan Steele and Jeff Schmeier, not take that back, and Dennis Fousson were the only 3 to have stayed out. And for Dennis Fousson, if this is the correct strategy, then we might be seeing a career night here for Dennis Fousson, or I shouldn't say career, but a season highlight for sure. He has, if I'm not mistaken, only 1 top 10 this season. Could be wrong, but I think he's only gotten 1 top 10.
That Dennis Fousson. Brian Barnes also has stayed out, so he'll go to the point for now. He did pit on lap 2, so
he's essentially in the same boat as Ryan Steele, who is now in. Jeff Schmeier now in as well.
Yeah, if Brian Barnes can squeak a couple more laps out, it's going to be close. But I mean, it looks like he did get fuel, so if they were a couple laps short, gonna be close here. Guess we'll see how close that fuel strategy is gonna become. Now we have just Brian Barnes that's out right now. See. I mean, right now I think he's going to be the closest one to be able to do it. It looks like he's probably going to have to come in momentarily, but we'll see if he does. Yeah, it looks like he's slowing down to get down pit lane. So lap 72 for Brian Barnes. So Michael Melfeld Jr. takes over the lead. Andrew Schultz about 9.5 back of Melfeld Jr. here. Melfeld pitted on lap 59, Andrew Schultz 68. So there is quite a big difference as far as tire goes. I mean, talking 9 laps around Darlington.
Yeah, that is not going to be the easiest. 9 laps with how you have to push this car, with how you have to set it in the corner. Just what gravity is doing in the track, and luckily we're at night, so it's not as hot, but it's still pretty hot on that tarmac. It is going to put a beating on those Goodyears.
Yeah, it definitely is. Just had one more. I'd like to put his car on the hauler, the 34 of Michael Bourne. So we'll go back through the field real quick, and then we'll take a break here. Michael Melfeld Jr. in first. Andrew Schultz second. Charlie Widener up to third. Chad Stearns fourth, and Bob Beltrami fifth. We're going to step aside here. We'll go side by side. You won't miss anything, and we'll be back after this. Welcome back to Western States Racing League at Darlington. Mike Demoney and Mac Nelson up in the booth. While we were away, we had a caution come out. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened here. Dustin. Oh, who's in front of Dustin? Lane fleets are down pit lane. But let's take a look. There we go. Jump to Keith Tillman. Up into the wall. Slides down in front of Brian. Oh my gosh. Bob Beltrami in it. Ryan Steele. Like he's trying to sneak by there. like he's good. Barnes just. So Kelman gets into that outside wall, slides down in front of Brian Barnes and backs him up here. Definitely not something you want to see happen here. Especially after they all made it through their first few laps on cold tires and they were racing pretty well. And if you're Michael Melfeld Jr., that is definitely not something you want to see. You don't want Andrew Schulte any closer to you than, you know, where you had him back there 5 or 6 seconds anyway.
Yeah, you know, luckily for the likes of, you know, Andrew Schulte, Chad Stearns, nothing too much is changing with them and their position, but for the likes of Ryan Steele, you know, the people, you know, some of the people that were trying to extend this into a one-stopper and really, you know, playing the green flag runs, they kind of got caught out to dry, and all their hard work to, you know, push the car 25 or so laps more than everybody else is just kind of negated with this caution. So, you know, unfortunately, Ryan Steele just basically has to start over.
That looks like everybody came down pit lane. Got their 4 fresh tires and full of fuel. So we know that, you know, Andrew Schulte can make it. Ryan Steele, pretty much all those guys, because they extended that run quite a distance there. I mean, we're over halfway through the race, so they will be getting ready to go here. Pace car makes that left-hand turn. Michael Melfeld Jr. with the button. Andrew Schulte to his outside as they roll into that Geico restart zone. And Andrew Schulte is down and away. Michael Melfeld Jr. gets a pretty good run down low as well. Like Bob Beltrami down low as they're starting to single file out. Kind of looking back through the field as like the 04 Dustin Burns slides out of the way. Brian Barnes either took his faster pair, and we are sideways up front. Christian Bishop to the outside of the 95 machine there of Charlie Widener. See what we can see here from the chopper cam.
Oh, and that's Charlie Widener just up into the front left. Christian Bishop. Nothing Bishop could have really done there.
Definitely not.
Beltrami gets through. Samard gets through. Simpson gets through. Pretty much everybody gets through. Except the 95 and 26, obviously. Oh, 99 might have gotten clipped there. That's Barry Phil.
That is rough.
Yeah, very, very rough.
Everybody's probably going to stay out other than those few drivers.
Fifth pit stop of the night for Lyle Swearingen, unfortunately.
He's in there for 4 seconds. Maybe topping her off with fuel. Like Christian Bishop called it a night. Charlie Widener. Looks like he took his faster pair and is back out on track. Ryan Steele came down and pitted. That's interesting.
Yeah, 3.9 second stop for him. I guess he just did not like the amount of fuel that was in his car. Either that or he was fast repairing, but I don't think he had any damage.
I mean, from here, you don't have too many laps left. I mean, less than you did on the first stint, so maybe for fuel, but he ran over about 70 laps on his tank of fuel, and we're inside 60 now, so it shouldn't be an issue. As they get stacked up here. Like we're single file restarting. Rolling through 3 and 4 now. Pace car is off. Melfield Jr. gonna lead him here to that Geico restart zone. He is down and away. It's out to about 0.3 of a second right now. Coming through 1 and 2. I think everybody's playing pretty well. Looks like Julian Ricci got a little loose there trying to get past Jeff Schmeier. Lyle Swearingen was looking to the inside of Ricci. Charlie Widener back out on track running P11.
For somebody that had to go in that recent caution, Charlie Widener is actually looking pretty decent here. P11 right now, and we know he's got pace. He's been up top 5, top 6 at different points tonight, so he could be somebody to watch out for.
Thought I saw somebody just make the left-hand turn into no man's land, but apparently just missed him. They've got this. I think they're starting to get this all settled down here.
Butch Davis is also back on the lead lap after being a couple of laps down early on tonight. He is rocking P7.
Just in front of him is Chad Simpson. Chad Simpson started way back in the back of the field. He's up 16 spots right now in that 42 Toyota.
Yeah, a couple of Cinderella stories here tonight. Not necessarily talent-wise, but just luck-wise. We've had drivers like Butch Davis, like Ryan Steele, who is trying to make his way up. You know, Charlie Widener, they've gotten struck. Lyle Swearingen even. They have been struck with some very, very bad luck tonight. And they are just pushing through it and fighting, and they've got a chance to earn themselves some really nice spots here.
Yeah, it definitely does, as Lyle Swearingen goes down to the inside of Julian Ricci, trying to get further inside this top 10 as side by side they go. Seeing how dangerous that can be coming out of 2 or 4. Seems like everybody slides up just a little bit and winds up getting caught out in the back there somewhere. Is Fuson going by Wayne Hutchinson? By Wayne Fleet there. These guys up front are flying right now. And as I say that, Christian Martin and Butch Davis, who are in 5th and 6th, are running the fastest on track right now, a 30.16, 30.14. And Lyle Swearingen a 30.13. All three teammates.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a toss-up here whenever this white flag is shown. I could not tell you who is, in the best spot to win. All I know is Jeff Schmeier, P8. That dog is looking hungry.
He definitely has to try and do something here. These guys have probably made their last pit stop. So it's all in the driver's hands to see how they can save those tires and have some pace for late in the race. I mean, I know we've all been in a race where these guys, where they have the fresh tires and they start just passing everybody really fast, and then all of a sudden when you look towards the end of the race, they're going the other way pretty quick. I don't know that you'd see it too much in Western States Racing League here, but it is possible if they overdrive and use up their tires that they wind up fading towards the end of these runs.
Yeah, and that's really the name of the game. The fast ones right now, the intimidating cars on track right now on lap 99 are probably not going to be the intimidating cars on lap 139 because, the pace of these cars and, how much tire degradation goes into the asphalt of Darlington here. We could see some guys who are incredibly quick on the old tires and they could shoot up the standings.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've seen it quite a bit, but the way these guys are racing, I think we're gonna have to see who doesn't hit the wall so much, as almost all of these guys have that one Darlington stripe.
And I mean, it's almost inevitable when you're racing here. It's just so hard. It seems like that wall just comes out and grabs you in those corners. And, I know as somebody who has raced Darlington many of times on this service, it is a tough one.
As Jeff Schmeier was trying to make the pass on Chad Simpson, Lyle Swearingen was looking to make the pass on Jeff Schmeier. They all were racing together there and then backed out pretty quickly. And just behind them, you got Julian Ricci, Ryan Steele, and Charlie Widener. Steele going to the inside of Ricci, going to try and make this pass here. But that's kind of a dangerous position to be in if you think that car on the high side is going to get a little bit loose, as Ricci slides down in front of Steele and then slides back up towards the wall here.
Yeah, we are going to see where the racecraft really harnessed at for these guys, as Ryan Steele going for a really nice move onto Julian Ricci. He gets halfway up the car. Coming out of the corner, it looks like he is not going to be able to maintain the pace all the way around the corner. And that gives Charlie Widener an opportunity to pass Ryan Steele potentially.
And we've seen it a couple times. These guys have the pace going into the corner to make the pass, and by the time they come out, they just stall halfway through. As Ryan Steele goes up to the wall, I'm going to try and put Ricci down on the inside. Looks like Ricci gets a little loose. Is going to squeeze him up to the wall.
And Ryan Steele around the outside is going to seal off that position for now. Charlie Widener is looking to make Julian Ritchie regret getting passed by Ryan Steele, as Charlie Widener is trying to make the overtake stick. For now, he is not going to get it that time around, but heading in to this corner, he is just going to fall into line.
He's trying to. He seems to get a pretty good run, and then Ricci slides down the block and won't let him go by. He gets to the door. We'll see if he's going to be able to hold it there. Looks like he might get a better run coming off of the corner here down the front straightaway. Gets a little loose, but is able to make that pass.
Yep, and he gets it. Wow. Well done by Charlie Widener.
Ricci trying to make the most of his run tonight. Looks like Dennis Fuson almost slid into that outside wall coming off a 2 there. Kind of see these guys bouncing around all over the place on the track. Michael Melfeld Jr. leading them through. 40 laps to go here. One look back through the field here, see if we see anybody trying to make some moves. Like Lyle Swearingen and Chad Simpson are hooked back up. Ryan Steele has been able to get past Jeff Schmeier. Like Charlie Widener's going to look to the inside of Schmeier as well. Looks like this dog is not going to have his day today.
Yeah, and you know, it's just really upsetting because I thought that, you know, last time I gave the dog all my omniscient power. Could not get it in victory lane. I felt like tonight really could have been the night, but unfortunately it just was not so.
They're still battling. They're outside the top 10 now. And looking forward, we got an off week. And then we go short track racing at Richmond and Bristol. And then have another off week and finish it with Vegas, Daytona, and Phoenix.
Vegas is going to be fun. Bristol is also going to be fun. I cannot wait for those two on the calendar.
Next week we're going to be at not next week. The week after Halloween we're going to be at Richmond in the Xfinity cars. Like everybody's starting to get spread out quite a little bit here. Like Jeff Schmeier is going to head to pit lane. Interesting call there. Like he was kind of battling his car though most of the night.
Yeah, unfortunate for Jeff Schmeier, really.
Yeah, he'll still be able to salvage a top 15 for the day, it looks like. Melfeld Jr. starting to drive away a little bit. A couple tenths faster than Andrew Schulte on track. Last couple laps. Chad Stearns kind of hanging there as well. Chris Sumard. Bob Beltrami inside the top 5.
Yeah, you know, you love to see it. The Beltrami salami. He shows up and he puts in good pace every single week. But, you know, unfortunately, it's not every single week that we see him running this well. You know, you love to see it from the commish.
Yeah, definitely. Who else has been able to put on a season like this? I mean, they had a little bit of their problems here and there, but they still have been around for 49 seasons. I mean, that's just crazy. And when they come back in the spring for season 50, I think that's going to be a big one.
Yeah, 50 seasons of anything is crazy. And, you know, you just start talking about a sim racing league, starting to think, wow, that is really, really crazy. So, you know, shout out to the WSRL guys, man, making it work for a very, very long time.
I mean, that is just crazy. I mean, basically 25 years of racing.
Yeah, it is. It's nuts. It's truly nuts.
Well, while these guys are turning these laps, we're going to step aside. We'll come back and bring in the conclusion of the Western States Racing League, round number 15 from Darlington. We'll be back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. You didn't miss anything as we were side by side. Michael Melfeld Jr. got a little loose there. Wound up dropping a couple positions. Andrew Schulte took over the lead. Chad Stearns is in second, trying to get past, looks like Julian Ricci there. Ooh, Chad Stearns with a big wiggle there.
Yeah, a very, very big wiggle.
See what's going on back here a little bit. Looks like Bob Beltrami getting by Wayne Fleet. Nope, Barry Phil. That is one thing I do like about this league, is if they're guys that are laps down, they kind of just move to the inside, let the racers race and stay out of the way. Try not to affect anything.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Bob Beltrami looks like he got into the wall there a little bit. Wow, swearing, and we're under caution.
That is going to put a fork into strategies for certain.
Jeff Schmeier and Butch Davis, they both kind of just run next to each other. Yeah, Butch Davis might have turned down just a little bit, but
Very sad day for the 30 doggo machine.
Butch Davis spinning out through the field here, so that's gonna probably bring everybody down for tires. Looks like that is exactly what's going on here. Andrew Schulte will lead them all in. And as I say that, it looks like Dennis Fuson said, no, I want to be up front. We'll see if he's going to actually stay up front or if he's going to just try and pit and wind up towards the back of the field.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but with the way cautions have been going tonight, there's a chance that he might be able to get some major track position if he just chooses not to pit and stays in front.
Definitely looks like that. Happens here. See if everybody, all these lappers go down and get serviced on pit lane here if he stays out.
Charlie Widener only taking rights, so jumped up to P2, potentially P1. Yes, with Dennis Fuson going in, that will make provisional restart leader Charlie Widener with a fresh set of Goodyears on his right side. But will the old lefts, will they give him a hard time?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be interesting to see what will happen here. As we've got, light should go out on the pace car this time by. Like Dustin Burns called it a night. Wayne Fleet's still rolling. Oh no, Dustin Burns is rolling too. We'll see. Well, these drivers should be getting a wave around here. Lights are out on the pace truck. They should be getting stacked up momentarily. So the board up here is full of Toyotas right now. Widener, Schulte, Stearns, and Melfeld Jr.
Yeah, but we're starting to see more diversity in the field. You know, towards the start of the season, there were maybe 2 or 3 Fords every single week, but now it's genuinely pretty much even between the Chevrolets, Toyotas, and the Fords.
Definitely looks like that. If Lyle Swearingen can make something work up here, Ryan Steele also. I mean, those guys were running pretty well for a little bit. Pace car is in. Charlie Widener with the button as he rolls through turn 4 here. Get to that Geico restart zone. He is down and away. Slides up in front of Schulte. Leaves Chad Stearns down on that inside. Andrew Schulte just sent it. Bounces off the wall, off of Stearns. Michael Melfeld Jr. goes to the high side as they are 3 wide for second.
Oh, man, they are laying it all out. Chad Stearns getting up. Oh, and... Oh!
Bob Beltrami able to avoid it. Ryan Steele able to avoid it. But with all that going on...
speechless as Chad Simpson gets the 155, but the 155 keeps it straight. What is going on? These guys are on X Games mode.
I don't know what in the world. All right, let's see if we can see what happened here. Let's go back. Look at this. I mean, we knew it was coming.
Oh, yeah.
You could see it coming right here. Off of Chad Stearns. I mean, now that's a diamond pattern that going to cause some damage here. Everybody gets loose. They're able to save it. And then you go up here a little bit further. The 42 gets a pretty good run and just clips the 55. 55 gets spun, the 12 gets spun, and they're all able to save it.
Yeah, that is absolutely crazy stuff. And now we've got the 05 of Chad Stearns, who is 21st in the championship standings as of this week. He is currently leading with almost 10 to go.
Yeah, that right there just shook it up like nobody's business. Chad Stearns able to take advantage there. Charlie Widener is fading back. He is down to 13th after being involved in that. Ryan Steele back to 10th. Just a rough way for Michael Melfeld Jr. is back and forth because of that as well. So, I mean, just something, that simple. Didn't bring out a caution, but made everybody check up and change their pace. And Chad Stearns was able to stay down on that low line and keep his foot in the throttle. So he's out to almost a half-second lead over Andrew Schulte.
He had 10 laps to go for Chad Stearns. His heart rate has to be accelerated tenfold right now. He is 9 laps away from being a WSRL winner in season 49.
Yeah, that's gonna be the longest 10 laps of his season so far.
He does have 2 top 10s this season, though, so even though he is currently P27 in the points, he has only attended 8 races this year, so unfortunately, he is out of contention for, being able to score maximum points because there are 6 races he has not done. There are only 4 drop weeks. But still, to claim a win in one of the most competitive oval racing league on the iRacing service, that would be phenomenal for Chad Stearns.
Yeah, it definitely would. I mean, he's hanging in there. He's still about 4/10 ahead of Andrew Schulte. 7 laps to go. Andrew Schulte is beginning to reel him in, though, ever so slowly. But I imagine he's going to catch him with probably 3 to go or so and be right on his back bumper. And then it will all come down to how well Chad Stearns can either block or just force Andrew Schulte to go somewhere he doesn't want to go.
Yeah, and the 07 of Keith Kellman getting out of the way, unfortunately for Chad Stearns, was not able to use him as sort of a pick to shield himself from Andrew Schulte. Andrew Schulte is currently running a 10.5 faster than him, and he is pretty much here. So 5 laps left for Chad Stearns. Can he hold off possibly the most consistent driver on this grid in Andrew Schulte?
Yeah, he's got to hold off the main championship contender here in Andrew Schulte. He's doing pretty well maintaining his line, kind of running where he wants to. Just can't make a mistake as he is beginning to pull away now, as it looks like Schulte might have made a little bit of a bobble there. 4 laps to go, headed to 3.
Chad Stearns is driving so well right now, 2/10 quicker than Andrew Schulte on that last lap. So Andrew Schulte is going to have to put in double the work inside of these last 3 laps.
He looks like he can close in pretty well, but as we always say, catching him is one thing, passing him is quite another, and that is exactly what's happening here as we get the 2 to go popsicle sticks in the air. See what these 2 drivers will give us here. Andrew Schulte is closing almost right on his rear bumper there.
Oh, and he's going to have a great run here. This next corner could be Andrew Schulte's corner. He's going to have a fantastic run. Andrew Schulte just nicks the wall, though, unfortunately. That is going to kill all of his momentum, I believe, as we come down to the white flag and said it at the top of the broadcast, there might be a drag race coming out of 4. We might be seeing it here.
Yeah, white flag in the air. Coming through 1 and 2. Chad Stearns is holding on with all he's got. Andrew Schulte's driving lights out, trying to close in. But as we head through 3 and 4, unless Andrew Schulte finds some more speed, it is going to be Chad Stearns.
Chad Stearns takes the win at Darlington. Unlikely heroes shining here tonight in virtual South Carolina, but for Chad Stearns, this was always coming.
Chad Stearns rolls through here.
It looks like P3 is going to be Chris Samard, P4 Bob Beltrami, while Swearingen going to round out your top 5.
Chad Stearns drifting down the front straightaway here. Just having some fun there.
Doing a really good job, to be fair. That was some nice drifting around those corners. I mean, I'm kind of surprised.
Imagine what that would do to your tires in the race, though.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. I'll get you third place finisher.
Chris Samard, Mac up in the booth, man. How are you feeling?
I am tired, but good. How about you guys?
Oh, we're doing good. And, watching you kind of creep through the grid tonight, kind of quietly, a silent assassin, if you will. Were these cautions and these obstacles that, laid the way for the leaders? Is that something that you think attributed to you being able to climb?
Yeah, it definitely helped me out. Those cautions, I never would have gotten up to the top, probably even the top 5 if I didn't get any cautions, because I was in that wreck to start off, and then that restart there, we didn't get a good restart at all, and I was just running with Lyle for a while, and I was about 15 seconds behind, and I don't think I could have even caught up to the top 10, but those cautions helped me big time, so I'm okay with them. So
yeah, lap 126, I believe, is what it was whenever that caution came out. Kind of put everybody on the same exact cycle. When you pitted on that lap 128, was that kind of your green light to just go and get it and see what you could make out of it?
yeah, I mean, I had a good long run car. I didn't have the speed at the start, so I was trying to just pace myself a little bit, but they got out too far in front of me there, and I couldn't keep up. It just by the time it kind of leveled off, I was too far behind. So it all in all, though, it was a great run. And Andrew and Chad there, they were the class of the field up at the front. Even Mike Milfelt. So
yeah, oh, I'm so sorry. Continue.
Sorry, I feel bad for him. He looked like he had the fastest car for a while there, and got loose there and lost a bunch of spots. So.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate to see from up here, and I'm sure as it was down on the track. But you drove at P3, got on the podium. Who do you have to thank for tonight's performance?
Well, I'd like to thank all my teammates from SimRig Accessories Creation Studios, FBR SimRig Accessories Creation Studio. Like I said, all my teammates from FBR Motorsports, and they would get on my case if I didn't say hashtag bug mustard and tapioca pudding. So I have to say that they're so they won't get on my case about it. And my wife and son, they put up a lot for me to race. So I'm happy that they let me race at a weekly basis. So.
Yeah, well, it's great to see you here, and I'm sure we will see you in 2 weeks from now for the next one. So, appreciate your night, and have a good one. P3, Chris Samard.
Yes, sir, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring in Andrew Schultz, mic up in the booth. How's it going, man?
Not too bad. How about yourself, Mike?
Oh, not bad. Well, that was a heck of a run there. A lot of action there towards the end of the race. How was it from your point of view out there?
It was a blast. I hope the broadcast was as much fun to watch as it was in the car tonight. We had a real long run at the beginning, and it was shaping out to be a race without any caution. Or well, we had the one early on in the race, or like lap 1 or 2, something like that. But it was shaping out to hopefully go green the rest of the race, and I think we were in a decent position sitting P2 with like 5 to 10 lap better tires than Milfelt sitting in first. So thought we were going to have a good shot there, and then once the caution started coming out, wrench got thrown in that plan, and then it was just trying to figure out how to have some good short run pace there. And it was the last restart was a blast. I'm glad we were able to get through that without tearing up a whole bunch of cars. And it was fun trying to run. It's fun trying to run Chad back down. And we got to him. I don't know if we were going to have anything for him. I couldn't quite put turn 1 together as good as I wanted to. And he kept pulling on me there, and I'd have a little bit better of a 3 and 4 and close the gap back up. But I want to say congrats to him and appreciate Chris finishing P3rd when we got tangled up coming out of 4 when we were 3 wide. He easily could have been in the gas a little bit sooner, but he was real patient as I was sliding across his nose. So want to thank him for not turning me there. And yeah, it was a blast. A lot better than I expected it was going to go tonight. But nonetheless, P2 is always fun to finish there.
Definitely. I mean, we saw just how good you guys drive here, because in any other league, I'm going to say that when you guys were 3 and 4 wide there, I'm sure there was going to be a caution, but Ryan was able to save it. Melfelt saved it. I mean, it was just crazy the amount of sideways you guys were getting and still able to basically drive out of it.
Yeah, I didn't think 3 wide was really possible. but I know Charlie had iRacing kind of screwed up for him when he came down pit road during a caution. He checked his tires off too late, and it still put right sides on, so he only had a set of left sides sitting in the pit. So I knew it was going to be interesting trying to get around him. And unfortunately, he's just the way his tires wound up, he got the short end of the stick through that whole deal. But yeah, it was, like I said, I'm glad we didn't tear up a bunch of cars there, because we easily could have. We were inches from each other door to door. And Chad got the lead from that, and he was able to keep it. So congrats to him.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats again on your P2 finish. Anybody else you want to thank before we get you out of here?
Yeah, shout out to you guys. I know you guys always put on a good broadcast. It'll be fun going back, watching that, listening to what you guys all have to say about the race tonight. Shout out to the Band of Motorsports teammates. Justin didn't make it tonight, so hopefully, I know he's a little under the weather, so hope he's feeling better. Shout out to Mike and Charlie there. It's always a blast talking with them, chatting it up, BSing during these races. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats again on P2. Maybe we'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
Thanks, sir.
All right. See here if let's see.
How's Chad Stearns just gonna win the race and then dip on us like that?
I don't even see him in Discord at all. I was kind of looking through. Well, I guess.
Yeah, I don't see him in Discord either, actually.
Well, I guess if that's going to be that, let's go ahead and let me reset this. Go ahead and run down The order of finish, Chad Stearns able to win the race, but didn't find his way into the Discord. Andrew Schulte in second, Chris Sumar third, Bob Beltrami with a top 5. Lyle Swearingen finishes P5. Michael Melfeld Jr. Hard Luck 6th. Chad Simpson, Wayne Hutchinson, Ryan Steele, Dennis Fuson, Brian Barnes, Julian Ricci, Charlie Widener, Barry Phil, Dan Brazington with a top 15.
Yeah, and then from P16 down, it goes Wayne Fleet, Butch Davis, Keith Kellman, Dustin Burns, Jeff Schmeier, Christian Bishop, Michael Bourne, JTW, Mike Fisher, Carl Burke, and James Campbell.
Well, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up tonight. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks for some short track racing at Richmond. But from all of us, or from all the drivers of the Western States Racing League and all of us here at Sim Racing Media, I want to wish you a good night, and we'll see you next time.